Hello everybody, this is Post Guy here, which means everything I'm recording right now is after what you're about to see. Just died to the hands of Balos again, and I got tired of losing, so I went on YouTube just to relax a bit and try again maybe later. And I saw this, and there's this new rumor going around about the next Pokemon game, Pokemon Let's Go, only having the first 150. Now, I was going to put in a couple of hopes that I forgot to put in the video that you're about to watch, and those hopes were the ability to evolve your starter and an expanded Pokedex. And I don't think we're going to be getting any of these now, thanks to this new rumor. If this new rumor is true, I'm not saying it is, it could be completely fake. Everything that you're about to watch could be completely false. And everything I'm about to say could be outdated in the next couple of weeks when the game finally gets revealed. But if we're only getting the first 150, then that means we probably wouldn't be able to evolve our starter just like in yellow version, because they're trying to be as faithful as possible. And we won't be getting an expanded Pokedex because there is no expanded Pokedex. Now, both of these things are very concerning to me. For one, in yellow version, the reason why you couldn't evolve your Pokemon was because of the anime. It wanted to be faithful to the anime, and Ash still hasn't evolved his Pikachu. But back then, not only were you playing as a different version of Ash in Red, but now you're also getting Eevee as a starter, and Gary evolved his Eevee in the anime. So it wouldn't make sense. At least since we're getting an Eevee edition. If we were only getting a Pikachu edition, that's fine. But since we're getting an Eevee edition, that excuse just doesn't work anymore. And only getting the first 150 Pokemon feels very pandering. And this is something I talk about in the video that you're about to watch later on. But this just feels very pandering towards that Gen 1 agenda that Pokemon have been pandering to in the last couple of generations. Not to this extent. They've been doing well in Gen 6 and Gen 7. They've been doing well. They've been doing great, actually. But now it really feels like they're hammering towards that Gen 1 nostalgia bandwagon. And it's frightening, honestly. It's a bit frightening to me. But that's all I have to say right now. I'm about to go through hell again. See if I can do this time. Enjoy the video. Hello everybody, it is I, the Big Red Sky. In question, did you like the new intro? Because it's going to be staying for a while. So, before this video starts, I want to take a brief moment to talk about this month's upload schedule and talk about a little some things I talked about last video, about all the Sonic stuff. So last video, I talked about a Sonic video that I was making that was supposed to upload last Saturday. Sadly, the video isn't done yet. I still need some time. It'll probably be out sometime next week at the latest. No, sometime next week at the earliest, actually, because there's a couple other videos that I want to get done, including a video I'm planning on making this upcoming weekend about Super Smash Brothers. Excited for that. But right now, we need to take a brief moment and talk about the upcoming Pokemon Switch leaks. You know the ones I'm talking about. So, let's go right into the Pokemon Switch leaks. You can kill me for that pun if you want to. I don't care. I deserve it. So, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu Edition and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee Edition is the new hot topic in the Pokemon community at the moment. And I have a lot of concerns. Before we get into the nitty-gritty on these Pokemon leaks, we've got to remember, these are leaks, these are rumors, these are not confirmed to be true. All of what I'm about to say could be completely false. This isn't speculation, and there is a lot of backing up behind these leaks and rumors, but at the end of the day, they could all be fake. They could all be just a bunch of baloney. And that is something that we've all got to keep in mind. There's a This isn't me confirming anything, or this isn't anybody confirming anything. They're up. Everything's up in the air for this game. Let's just say. With that out of the way, though, let me get into my concerns for Pokemon Let's Go, which is what I'm going to be calling it. Just Pokemon Let's Go. Now, before I get into my big concern for this game, let's just talk about its connection to Pokemon Go. This is what a lot of people are very concerned about, and I am also kind of concerned about this. But not because of the fact that it has a connection just in general. Like, I could see being out, playing Pokemon Go, finding this wild, let's just say I find a wild Vaporeon, and I catch it, and I can transfer that to the Switch game. That's a cool idea that I could get behind. But it's rumored that it's going to have the same catching system as Go. And even though it works for Go, I don't really want to do that in like the main series games. I personally prefer the old style catching system to the one in Go. The one that you use in every Pokemon game, every Pokemon mainline game anyway. You just damage it, throw a ball, and hope for the best. I really prefer that to the one in Go. And I'd even say that the Go catching system needs to be a little tweaked as well, so you can have the Pokemon attack the wild Pokemon and then throw the ball. You know, that kind of thing. I really do hope that the catching system that's in Go isn't implemented in Let's Go. But just a connection isn't that big of a deal. As I said earlier, it'd be a cool idea to catch a Pokemon in Go and transfer it to the Switch game. I don't think it should be vice versa, because that would kind of break Go. But hey, for the Switch game, I think that's perfectly fine. If you just catch a Pokemon in Go and transfer it to the Switch game, but not the other way around, because that would break Go. Now that I got all the Go stuff out of the way, let's talk about my really big concern for Let's Go. Now, it's rumored that Pokemon Let's Go is going to be a reboot of some sorts for Pokemon Yellow, which is why Pikachu and Eevee are the mascots of the game, as they were the two starters that were in Yellow. You got Pikachu while your rival got an Eevee. And I'm going to be completely honest, I don't want this to be the case. I'm sorry to say, but I don't want the very first big console Pokemon game to be a Kanto reboot. There's a couple reasons why I don't want a Pokemon Yellow remake. For the one, it kind of feels like pandering. It definitely feels like the nostalgia pandering. And it's been sadly leading up to this over the last couple of games. Now, I'm not saying that X and Y, nor Sun and Moon, or Ultra Sun and Moon are these Kanto Lovebird tribute games like Let's Go is, but there has been hints of this coming. And I'm not going to include Alpha Sapphire or Omega Ruby, because those are remakes of Gen 3 that were bound to happen anyway. So that they don't really count for this argument for they're really pandering to Kanto. But let's just look at it this way. X and Y. They have this new thing called Mega Evolution. And it's a cool idea. It's really cool. I know it's something that Digimon did before Pokemon, but this is still a cool thing. I like transformations. Transforming into a higher power, it's cool. Now, you'd think with these new games introducing these new mechanics that the starters of the game would be able to use this new mechanic, would be able to test it out with the Pokemon that you bonded with throughout the entirety of your Kalos journey. Guess what they did? Guess what they did? Just take a log. You don't need to guess. X and Y has been out for years. You know what they did. They gave the Mega Evolution to the Kanto starters that you get in the game, making your starter, in-game starter that you got, useless. This doesn't count. For two reasons. For one, it's not a Mega Evolution. And for two, you couldn't even access this form unless you were using a Gen 7 game. So, in the X and Y anime, right, they enforced this big bond that you and your Pokemon had to have to access Mega Evolution. They emphasize that you and your Pokemon can reach new heights together. And you can't do that with your Kalos starter. Again, you couldn't do this in Action 1. So, I kind of feel a little disappointed in that regard, because my starter Pokemon is usually my best friend throughout the journey through the game. And the fact that this feature is locked toward the Kanto starters, or not locked towards the Kanto starters. There's a lot of Pokemon with Mega Evolution, but the fact that your friends throughout the journey, your very first partner, can't access this new power, but this random ass Kanto starter can, is just kind of disappointing. I think I talked too much about how X and Y was kind of pandering. Just having the Kanto starters in there in general is kind of a weird thing to do. But let's go over Sun and Moon, Sun and Moon, and how they pander to prove my point of the direction of the series. Now, in Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon's case, this can be kind of forgiven, given the fact that these are anniversary games, and what anniversary games are supposed to do is celebrate the history of Pokemon. And believe it or not, red, blue, green, and yellow are pretty big pieces of history in Pokemon, so it is still a little bit forgiven, but it is definitely something to keep in mind, especially since these new rumors are pointing towards Let's Go, which is a Kanto reboot. So let's get into how the Alola region panders to Kanto. For one, Red and Blue return as characters. Now luckily they're not that big in the story. In fact, you only get to meet them at the Battle Tree area in the post-game. So that's cool. So that's kind of cool, but it is still definitely something to be noted. Now the big thing is the Alola forms. Now these Alola forms are forms of older Pokemon that change due to Alola's environment, and that is a very neat idea that they locked behind the only Kanto Pokemon, which is very, very, very disappointing. And the reason why, especially in Ultra's case, is because they introduced this idea in Sun and Moon that Pokemon can change depending on what region they're from, but they only lock it behind Kanto Pokemon. In fact, Ultra Sun and Moon didn't even get any new Alola forms, Kanto or otherwise. So we're just stuck with some Kanto Pokemon getting this cool treatment, getting this special treatment. And it is very concerning, especially now with Let's Go being all in the rumors. There are also other links between Gen 7 and Gen 1. Well, for one, the protagonist is originally from Kanto. In Ultra Sun and Moon there is one gym, and it's modeled after Lieutenant Surge's gym. His gym is located in Kanto. At the end of the game, if you're playing Sun and Moon, Lily will travel to Kanto to help her mom with her sickness. And if you're playing Ultra Sun and Moon, her brother Gladion will travel to Kanto to train. Professor Kukui has been to Kanto and has fought the Elite Four, all the gym leaders, and even Lance. I believe he lost against Lance. In the anime, 2 episodes feature Brock and Misty. Also in those 2 episodes, Ash traveled back to Kanto to visit Brock and Misty. All of his friends went with him, and it was a big fan service episode towards the first 2 seasons. Not the first 2, but the first 5-ish. First 5 seasons. Back when Brock, Misty, and Ash were like the main 3. Also, Pokemon 20, that took place in Kanto. So, those are just like more connections between Gen 7 and Gen 1 that I could come up with. Now, the most common argument against my points is the fact that they haven't been just referencing Kanto. In fact, one of the members of the Unova Elite Four was a character in Ultra Sun and Moon and Sun and Moon as well. And of course, a character from Black and White 2 also made an appearance. Cynthia was battleable. You were able to battle Cynthia in the battle tree. You were able to battle Wally in the battle tree. Again, Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Moon. There's Diamond and Pearl references. But my point still stands that they're nostalgia pandering. It doesn't matter what generation they're doing it for. It's still pandering. I'd still be upset if this was a remake of Johto or a remake of Hoenn. It would still be disappointing to not get like a new big region. We've been to Kanto already. We've been to Kanto about like 4 times now. 1 time in 1st gen, 1 time in 2nd gen, 1 time in 3rd gen, and another time in 4th gen. So we've been to Kanto a bunch already. And even if it was like another game, even if it was like another region that was like the main region that was taking place, it'd still be like disappointing. So now let's go on to my other point on why I don't want this to be a Kanto reboot. Now, my second point on why I don't want these leaks and rumors to be true is, well, it's not innovative in the slightest, both for a Nintendo Switch game and a Pokemon game. Let's go over 4 Nintendo IPs that have been innovated upon on Nintendo Switch. The Legend of Zelda, Super Mario, Splatoon, and Kirby. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild added a big open world, multiple armor sets, and multiple weapons that you can use. It wasn't just limited to the sword anymore. Super Mario Odyssey added the capture mechanic and concise areas, well, big open concise areas with a lot of stuff to do in them, unlike other past 3 Mario games. Splatoon 2 added Salmon Run mode. And Kirby Star Allies added the friend mechanic so you can have your enemies team up with you to help out with bosses and puzzle solving. All of these games innovated on Nintendo IPs because of the Switch. Because the Switch was like able to do this. Because Nintendo knows that the Switch is selling greatly and want to deliver on their games. And with this new Pokemon Switch game, we're not getting that. In fact, every other Pokemon game has delivered on innovation, even X and Y. Gen 1 had the foundation. Gen 2 added the ability to play as a girl, shiny Pokemon, and a day and night cycle. Gen 3 had a global threat and a weather system. Gen 4, physical special split to help with competitive play and online play. Gen 5, an expanded storyline, the Entralink, and Seasons. Seasons hasn't returned, sadly. Gen 6, 3D graphics and Mega Evolution. Gen 7, Z moves and Alola forms. Gen 8, something that was in Go. The same capture mechanic that's in Go. I mean, you could argue that this hasn't been implemented in a main series game, but it was still something that was implemented in a Pokemon game. At least in the sense of Mega Evolution, Digimon is not a Pokemon game. So it's still innovating on Pokemon. This isn't. It's not even that big of a change. I mean, Z moves have... They're big in change because they're these big, powerful moves that help you out in battle. Mega Evolution is a transformation. A better story is, well, simply put, a better story to improve your game. The physical special split helps out a lot in competitive. It making some Pokemon that were useless actually usable. It's just weird because the Switch is all about innovation, and so is Pokemon. We're getting this. It's disappointing. It's disappointing. Let's look at the most recent generation, Generation 7. Gen 5 added a better story, a story to be taken seriously. Gen 7 took that idea and made it into something new. The story wasn't a rehash of Gen 5. It had its own characters, it had its own moments, it had its own villain with their own goals, and nothing related to liberating Pokemon at all. It was all about power, and it was a family trauma. A good one at that. That's how you do it. That's how you take something from an older generation and implement it in a new way Gen 2 also did this right. It took the Kanto region and made it the after game, the post game. What you do after all of the new region traveling stuff. If that was what we were getting, I'd be completely okay with that. I mean, I kind of wish it was all regions, but we'd still be getting a new big region with new and exciting Pokemon with new exciting mechanics. We're just not getting that with Let's Go though. What we're getting is yellow but better, and I'm sorry to say that, but that's just kind of disappointing. You know what though? It's a Pokemon game. And Pokemon games are always fun. Well, at least the main series ones. So, I am going to, even if this is the case, I am still going to be picking this game up, and I'm still probably going to have a blast with it. I just wish it was a little bit something more. But if this is the case, if this Let's Go game is the true next Pokemon game, I do have some hopes. Hope number 1. The story is original. Now, it's pretty much already been confirmed. Well, it's been just as confirmed as these leaks. But, yeah, I don't want to go through Red's journey again. And the leaks did say that Red and Blue were going to be in the game. But Red won't be the protagonist and Blue won't be the main rival. If this Yellow remake is real, I really hope that this is the case. I really do hope that this is the case because we're going to be getting at least somewhat of an original story. Great. Hope number 2. I want following Pokemon to work similarly how it did in Yellow version and not how it worked in Heart Gold and Soul Silver version. Now that might sound weird, and this doesn't mean I only want the starter to follow you around, even though that's the only Pokemon that I am going to have follow me around. That's not what I want to be the case, because I know a lot of people want their favorite Pokemon to follow them around, and I absolutely understand that. But what I mean is, I don't want the Pokemon following me forced to be the Pokemon in the front of my party. How Heart Gold and Soul Silver did it is when a Pokemon is at the front of your party, it follows you. It doesn't go in the Pokeball. It follows you around. And it was great. But in Yellow version, even if the Pikachu wasn't at the front of the party, he'd still follow you. And I could see Red throw the Pokeball. I could see Red as throws Pokeball as well as I could see him throw a Pokeball in Yellow version. But you still get the idea. So yeah, I don't want to... I like looking at my character throw the Pokeball in action. It's cool. Yeah, I don't want to have the Pokemon at the front of my party be locked to follow me. I want to choose any Pokemon in my party to follow me, whether they're at the front or not. So, and for my last hope for the Pokemon on Nintendo Switch, I want a new battle system. Because at least if we get a new battle system, it'll innovate somewhat on the existing Pokemon formula. In my next Pokemon Switch related video, I'll go over what I would like to see in a new battle system for Pokemon, but for now, I just want it changed. I don't care if it's the one that I propose in my new video. I just kind of want to see a change to the battle system. So, and by a new battle system, I don't just mean the capture mechanic from Go. I mean an actual new battle system. So that includes trainer battles. And that's it. That's the video. My small concerns, my really big concerns, and my small hopes for this new Pokemon Switch game. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and sadly I'm running out of film, so I can't actually do a Wonder Trading segment, but I really do hope that you at least take what I have to say into consideration, and yeah, we'll see you next time.